Thanks very much to the NZX for giving us the replacement spot. We do know it's the only soft rock presentation on the agenda, but we appreciate it. We would like to present a brand new opportunity in New Zealand, and this is producing coal seam gas through horizontal wells. These will be the first horizontal wells in coal seam gas in coal seams in New Zealand. This technology, of course, is well advanced in Australia, particularly Queensland, and in the USA. Ian and I have been working together over 30 years in New Zealand. Our detailed bios can be accessed on our website, jetexpet.com and irba.co.nz. My international background primarily was 30 years spent with Shell and Conoco worldwide. And Jetex is a relatively new company. We are the initial two directors. All shares are held by Jetex Petroleum Inc., incorporated in Colorado. And the coal seam gas would be the second asset. The first asset is an onshore Taranaki permit that was awarded almost 5 years ago, but has been under 3 successive environmental challenges, with a final approval at the end of last year by the Supreme Court, which ruled in favor of the Ministry of Energy, who was the litigant in the procedure. Subject to NZ-PAM clearance, we expect an extended reach messenger well will be drilled in the second half of this year from an existing well site, which should greatly facilitate environmental approvals. And the coal seam, this well will be drilled in the second half of this year, we plan, and the coal seam gas permit will now be addressed by Ian. Do you want to take this to last?
Right. Well, thank you, Ed, and pleasure to be here and present what I think is really quite an exciting project. So this is a petroleum exploration permit application that we've made. It's in the Huntly area of the Waikato. For those of you who know this part of the world, it's about an hour's drive south of Auckland. The permit application area is 62 square kilometres, and it's over the top of the Huntly coalfield. Huntly, the town, was established around coal. There was early coal mines there, and subsequently expanded by the government through state coal mines, then Coal Corp, then Solid Energy. So there's a long history of coal mining in the area, and as a result of that, we've got the Huntly Power Station was established to use that coal. Because of all the work that's been carried on over a large number of years, we've got a very good resource definition. And you can see from this map here, all those black dots are coal exploration drill holes that have been used to define where the coal is. There are quite well-defined coal fields. The pink outlines there. The big block in the centre of the image is the Huntly coalfield, with the Waikari off to the east, and Rotowaro a bit to the southwest. There are 2 large underground coal mines that we're operating over a number of years. Total coal extracted around nearly 20 million tonnes. Both those mines have been abandoned. Solid Energy, when they were active some years ago, did carry out work looking at coal seam gas. They drilled a number of wells. You can see some red dots in amongst that. And they proved that there was gas that they could extract. And they came up with various estimates. One estimate was as high as 375 PJ. For our planning purposes, we're running with a number quite a bit smaller, 50 PJ. Because of all the coal seam, the coal exploration work that's been carried out, we do have a pretty good handle on what the geometry of the coal seams look like. There are 2 main seams. The upper seam is the renowned seam, And on the left side, you can see an isopack. Well, that's a map showing the thickness of coal. And that's the upper seam, and on the right we've got the Cooper seam, which is the lower seam. And again, there's quite an accumulation of coal in our permit area. The black dashed line is the outline of the permit. Within that, we've got a very nice bit of information courtesy of Solid Energy's work, which was a 3D seismic survey. So we can use that to fill in the gaps in terms of the seam geometry based on seismic surveying. So how did we get here? Well, we're on the back of an awful lot of work that's been carried out by other people. Solid Energy with their 14 vertical wells, 2005 to 2012. They tested gas, produced a gas, no CO2, and it's a biogenic methane. And it's really quite an interesting twist to it, because the gas that we're using at the moment out in New Zealand is a thermogenic gas. It's been formed by deep burial processes and conventional oil and gas technologies used to extract it. At Huntly, it turns out that there are bugs that are sitting in the coal, or have been sitting in the coal, feeding on the organic material in the coal and excreting methane. And we think that the process may be ongoing. Solid Energy produced 0.06 PJ from their 4 wells, and at the time they generated megawatt of electricity during testing. It's our understanding that they're about to apply for a mining permit, but were unable to reach a commercial agreement for offtake. And of course, Solid Energy didn't survive. So we are going to start with 2 horizontal wells. You can see the inset diagrams there showing where the Solid Energy wells, you can see their well spacing. We're going to go horizontally through the coal, so we intercept the cleats, that's the fractures that contain the gas. So we will intersect 30 times the coal that was penetrated by the 4 Solid Energy wells. So based on that, we expect to produce a lot more methane per well. 2 wells will require dewatering, then we'll have sustained production, and that allows us to confirm the reserve estimates and plan a future development program. So why is this project important? New Zealand has declining gas reserves, and some of you may have heard in the last 24 hours that one of our major gas producers, OMV, the Australian company, have decided to abandon the Maui gas field. So that's going to have quite an important impact on gas supply in New Zealand. Coal seam gas is not currently being produced in New Zealand, and these will be the first horizontal coal seam gas wells. And as a point of reference, we understand that about 40% of Australian gas, this is onshore gas, is produced from coal seams, and they even export it as LNG. So clearly, we can learn from the Australian experience. So our next steps. Ahead of the award of the permit, we will carry out enabling activities, get our access agreements, resource consents, get our well pad constructed, so we can start drilling as soon as the permit is awarded. And from a corporate point of view, we're exploring our funding options, and we're working with Foster Capital, that's Sam McDonald. So thank you for your attention, and look forward to some questions.